let's solve 1/3 times the natural log of x minus 4 equals 2. So the first thing here is I'm going to rewrite the problem so that we've got space to work. Natural log. And ultimately where we want to start is we want to isolate the logarithm. And because it's 1/3 times the logarithm, what we can do is we can multiply this side of the equation by 3, and we can multiply this side of the equation by 3. And what happens then is we get the natural log of x minus 4 equals 6. And now we're going to convert. We're going to convert this natural logarithm out of this format into an exponential. But what we need to remember is that the base on the natural log is e. So as we look at this here, we're going to rewrite it, and it's going to be e. Whatever the logarithm equals is the exponent, equals e to the 6 equals the x minus 4. And now, eventually, what we want to do is we want to write the solution in exact form, and then we want to write it to an approximate form, which is to the nearest thousand. So to write it in exact form, we have to solve for x, and we're going to add 4 to both sides. And we get e to the 6 plus 4 equals x. There's our exact form. Well, if we want to figure out what the approximate form is, we pull out our calculator, and we're going to type that in. E to the 6, so it's going to be second ln gets us e to the 6, and then we're going to add 4 to that. Here comes our decimal. So our approximate form, when I look at C, round to the nearest thousandth, which is 3 decimal spaces. So our rounding is going to be 407.429, because we're looking at the 7 to determine what to do to the 8. And since 7 is 5 or higher, we're going to round that number up. Remember, 0.429, the 4 is the tenths, the 2 is the hundredths, the 9 is the thousandths, the third decimal space. So there is the x, which is the approximate form. Number 4, the expression log of a plus 1/2 log b is equivalent to. The thing that we need to remember about this particular problem is what to do with this 1/2. And what happens is when we have a coefficient on a logarithm, what we do with that 1/2 is we're going to make it an exponent. So the log a at this point isn't going to change, but we are going to take that 1/2 and we're going to make it an exponent. So this is going to be plus log b to the 1/2 power. Well, we think back to our properties, and our properties of logarithms say that if we add 2 logarithms together that have the same base, then we can condense that down by multiplying those 2 values together. But as we take a look at our answers here, what we see in 3 out of 4 of them is that they've got a square root in there. And what has to happen here is that that b to the 1/2 can be rewritten, and it's going to be log of a b, except that when we have 1/2, that changes that to a square root, which means that our answer on this problem is letter C. Number 5, the expression log of x squared y cubed divided by the square root of z. Well, there's that square root of z again, but we've got multiplication in the top of the fraction, and we've got the square root in the bottom of the fraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand this, and I'll start just with the top of it, the top of the fraction, and writing it as log of x squared plus log of y cubed. We are multiplying, and we can expand by addition. Well, we still have that log of the square root of z down there. When we divide is going to be subtraction. So this is going to be log of the square root of z. And might be nice if I wrote z. So we're getting closer here to what we can do. It looks like we can eliminate the answer of c, but we're going to take this value of 2, our exponent, and we're going to write it out in front of that logarithm. So this becomes 2 log x. We can do the same thing on our next value here. We're going to take the 3 and we're going to write it out in front of it. So this is going to be 3 log y. And over here on our third value, we want to rewrite. And again, the square root of z in terms of exponential form equals z to the 1/2. The number in the check mark part of the radical is a 2. So that's going to be the denominator of the fraction. So this is going to be z to the 1/2 power. And you can probably figure out the multiple choice answer by this point. But we're going to do the same idea that we did on the previous 2 moments ago. So the 2 log x plus the 3 log y minus 1/2 log z. So we go back and check for our answers. And 2 log x plus 3 log y minus 1/2 log z. Looks like the answer is A.